Alignment yoga, people often think, refers to very precise placement of the body. And we do use alignment as a tool, but the name alignment yoga comes from the idea that our physical body functions most efficiently when we're in alignment with the forces that surround us. So rather than fighting gravity, understanding gravity and how it flows through our bones is going to help our posture far more than developing techniques to fight gravity or to try and hold ourselves more forcefully upright. The other thing we work with in alignment yoga is we work on trying to find the balance between the effort aspect and the surrender aspect, or the doing part of the pose and the undoing part of the pose. And so what we so often find is that in the yoga practice, we take our pre-existing strengths and we reinforce those pre-existing strengths in the techniques and the practices we do. So in the West, we're very good at doing things. We get things done, we're very efficient, and that's a wonderful trait. But for a lot of us, developing that aspect, the penalty or the cost has become that we have anxiety, we have tension, we have insomnia, we have depression, we have all these various conditions that we come to yoga to try and remedy. And then we do yoga in a way that reinforces the pattern that caused the difficulty in the first place. So Warrior Two is one of the very first poses we learned in yoga. The way I learned how to do Warrior Two, we were told it was very important that we bring our front leg into a right angle. And so after I practiced that way for a number of years, what I realized is that the part of my brain that causes tension and causes anxiety is also the part of my brain that's very concerned about doing it right. And that concern about doing it right transferred over into my yoga practice. And so I was very concerned about that 90-degree angle, so I was doing the pose right, which is just another expression of the anxiety that I found that would keep me up at night. And so I started to study the yoga poses. Could I do the yoga poses in a way where I exercised the part of the mind that was latent or dormant, as well as using the part of my mind that was already very functional, very alive and dynamic? And so the part of the mind that for most of us is a bit dormant is the part of the mind that observes and the part of the mind that contemplates. As we bring that latent dormancy to life, we'll find a lot more contentment in our day-to-day life. So how do we apply that idea into a yoga posture? The way we apply it in a yoga posture is we give ourselves something to pay attention to and counterpoint to the emphasis on what we do. So specifically in Warrior Two pose, I put my back foot flat on the floor. And flat on the floor, I mean that I've got all the 5 toes on the floor, equally weighted. I've got the ball of the foot equally weighted. I've got the weight centered on the heel. So that whole back foot is rooted, grounded to the floor. And then I hold that fixed, that holds steady. And then the inquiry, the key word is it's an inquiry, is how far can I bend the front leg without disturbing the back foot? So there's a doing, there's an effort part of the pose, developing strength and flexibility. And there's also an observational part of the pose, paying attention to how the back foot is. And then I come to that middle place where I'm using the back brain to pay attention, I'm using the front brain to challenge myself. And that's the harmonic middle that we strive to cultivate in alignment yoga. So please check back in our blog. We'll have upcoming installments on instructional techniques. Thanks for visiting the blog, and please check in again in the future. Namaste.